When it started off souls by giving no praise to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushua, Ba'Shem Kadash, double honors to the apostles of great millstone, and honors to brothers doing the work of the Most High in truth and in sincerity. Yahweh's real name, of whom the world ignorantly calls God, Jehovah, or Yahweh. His real name is Yahweh. His own true name is Yahushua. And when we pray Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushua, I mean in, having that and Sham, meaning names Yahweh in the name of Yahushua. Real quick, this is one on, just out and about, just making observations. And one of the things that this world has a lot of are people who feign the idea of being good, right? So they do things that are expected, that makes them look good, like, oh, look what I've done, I'm a good person, right? But in their heart, it's far from that. Right, it made me think about, sincerity, right? And this thing of ours where we can't be like, these people in the world where it's like, oh, I'm just doing this because I know it will make people like think, oh, he's such a good person. But if it's not sincere from the heart, right, then you got problems, right? As in like there's a problem there, right? So I looked up some, some precepts, going, get through some precepts. Laws all can be edifying, right? This is Ephesians 6 from 6 to start off with. Right? It says, not with eye service as men pleasers, but as servants of Yahweh Shai, as is doing the will of the Most High from the heart. Right? And that's it when we're dealing with, because it's talking about servants, but it's like when we're dealing with, dealing with one another, right? We're going to be, doing things from the heart, right? Not just do, once again, I'm going to repeat this a few times in this, but not just doing things because, oh, that's what I'm expected to do, right? No, we got to be sincere. We got to be honest, right, with each other. Okay. This is with good will doing service as to the Lord and not to men, knowing that whatsoever good thing any man doeth, the same shall receive of the Lord, whether he be bond or free, right? And even reading this is making me think of the precept when Yahushua said, I was naked and you clothed me. I was this and then that, and then he was basically asked, right? When did we see you naked or hungry and stuff like that? And basically said, if you do this to any one of, my servants, you do it unto me. Okay, so it's a thing where doing things for the argument's sincerity, the Lord sees that, right? But the key thing there is in sincerity, man, not begrudgingly. Okay, this is Mark 7 from 6. He answered and said unto them, well hath Isaiah prophesied of you hypocrites, as it is written, this people honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me, right? And that's the worst case to be, right? You put on the garment, right? What do you call it? The individual comes, to the camp, but their heart's not really in this, right? The heart's not really in this thing, and even more so in these other, in these other groups where they're just teaching whatever they want to teach without fear of Yahweh Hashem Shai. Okay, this is how be it in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines and commandments of men, right? So it's just the things of which is even worse, like the things that are seen as good in this world, right? And there's certain camps that like doing that. They like teaching the quote unquote good of this world, right? But the scriptures tell us to be separate and different from this world. Okay, this is Mark 6 from the top. Matthew 6 and 1 it says, take heed that ye do not your alms before men to be seen of them, right? This idea, and you see people like that. You see people like, oh yeah, I donate to charity. I'm so tired, I had to go give blood today. Like all of these things where it's like you so-called, these individuals are so-called doing good, right? But they got to announce it to everyone. Oh, look at this great thing that I've done, right? Just so that they can get praise. So it's like, wait, there. So did you do it because it was you felt like genuinely it was the right thing to do, or did you do it because you wanted to tell people that you did it? Okay. It says to be seen of them. It says otherwise you have no reward of your Father which is in heaven. It says, therefore, when thou doest thine alms, do not sound a trumpet before thee, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets, that ye may have glory of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. But when thou doest alms, let not thy left hand know what thy right hand doeth, right? That thine alms may be in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret himself shall reward thee openly, right? Because in that instance where you ain't going there to pronounce it to the world, right, and be like, hey, I've done X, Y, and Z. It's a thing where it's like now it's just between you and the Most High, okay? So then that's the thing with these people. If they couldn't speak about the so-called good that they've done, right, wouldn't, they wouldn't, because it's a thing where it's all about being seen of men. It's not in sincerity, right? And once again, that's just an observation of this world. Things get done, right? Or people will follow rules and they think that they're good for following rules, but then when they don't have to be, good, they ain't good, quote unquote. Which the only real, being good is following these laws, statutes, and commandments, right? Not the weird rules of this world. Okay. This is 2 Corinthians 2:17. For we are not as many which corrupt the word of the Most High, but as of sincerity, right? And this word here, purity, right? Ingenuousness, right? Yeah, purity, sincerity. It says, but as of the Most High, but in the sight of the Most High, speak we in Mashiach, right? So sincerity, 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 right? Titus 2:7, in all things showing ourselves a pattern of good works, right? So, once again, the best example of good works are laid out in these scriptures, okay? But then it's believing in and doing things wholeheartedly with it, with what is written in these scriptures, right? It says, in doctrine showing uncorruptness, gravity, sincerity. 2 Corinthians 1:12, for our rejoicing is this, the testimony of our conscience, that in simplicity and godly sincerity, not with fleshly wisdom, but with the grace of the Most High, we have had our conversation in the world, and more abundantly to you would, right? So once again, that word there, a simplicity and about what's godly sincerity, right? Being sincere about this thing, being sincere about the things that we do, right? And once again, it's highly important that when we are dealing with our kin, dealing with each other, that we're being sincere with each other, right? Lest the Most High be unhappy with our works. This is Joshua 24:14. Now therefore fear Yahweh and serve him in sincerity and in truth, and put away the gods which your fathers served on the other side of the flood and in Egypt, and serve ye Yahweh, right? Because once again, you get certain people that ain't really serving themselves. It's like they are serving themselves. They're not serving Yahweh Shem Yahshua in sincerity, right? They're using this thing of ours as a way to get rich, right? A way to serve their own belly. Okay, and this is First Peter 1:22. Seeing ye have purified your souls in obeying the truth through the Spirit unto unfeigned love of the brethren, seeing that ye love one another with a pure heart, right? Fervently, right? So once again, this idea of doing good to the Hakim, but like genuinely meaning it, right? Not just to be seen, as we read in Matthew the 6th chapter, as some people in this world do, right? They do things just to be seen, right? But true brotherly love is like, look, man, hey, no one needs to know, right? This is just between you, me, and the Most High, and even then, you don't even need to say that, because that's not really what it is. We're supposed to help each other for in whatever capacity that we have, because we all have different capacities to help, right? But helping each other in ways, in sincerity. That's the point, right? In sincerity. And the last precept is 2 Corinthians 8:8. I speak not by commandment, but by occasion of the fullness of others, and to prove the sincerity of your love, right? So it's like, our love for one another must be sincere, right? When we're doing things for one another, it must be sincere. When we're serving the Lord, it must be sincere, right? Because ultimately the Lord knows, right? So as always, Lord, that was edifying. Till next time we say, Shalom.